Okay. Okay. Preseason's over. Uh, Vikings go winless. Second straight year they go winless. Um, 23-13 they lose to Denver. Uh, I didn't get to see a lot of this game because we lost our fucking power. Severe storm came through here and knocked the power out for a little over 2 hours. Um, so I was reduced to just listening to to PA on the radio and following along on social media, with the exception of like most of the first quarter and just the last couple of minutes. So I was unfortunately not able to watch the majority of this scintillating football game. Um, but I did get to see some Sean Mannion. Oh boy. Uh, I think he played the whole first half. Then Mon played the second half. Um, Neither one looked good. Um, Neither one did much. You Mannion took a strip sack that was run back for a touchdown, and I saw before we lost power, I saw one pass over the middle that should have been a pick six. You know, like he's a veteran. He's been in the league, or he's been around the league at least like for years. He can't get away with that. If you're a prospect type of guy like Kellen Mond, maybe you can get away with that a little bit. Um, but not you know they didn't play Nick Mullins. Not surprised. And neither of these other guys did anything to even make the decision tough. Nick Mullins will be QB2, no question. Um, and I think Sean Mannion will be cut, and Mond will be cut, but maybe put on the practice squad. Um, and I think, you know, he was pretty good. I genuinely thought Mond looked very promising against the Raiders, but he went downhill. You know, um, he took he I guess he had one pass that people were raving about, but I mean, one pass, you need a little more than that. I was able to see the very final drive. They actually had it. They got the ball back with like a couple minutes left. Hey, maybe you go down. You could have a drive and go down and score. Get playing against the absolute backups of the backups for Denver. And it was like a 3-and-out. Mon took a sack, and then he couldn't even really get off a fourth down pass, and that was the end of that. So I think they made it a very easy decision for KOC, that it's gonna what the QB pecking order will be behind Kirk. I don't think there's any mystery there. People were mad that they sat a lot of guys. They did end up sitting over 30 guys tonight. People were mad about it, but then what did we see tonight? We saw a lot of injuries. Like, they didn't have many injuries in the first two preseason games. They had a bunch tonight. BC got hurt again. I guess maybe kind of bad, which hopefully not. Naylor got a concussion. T.Y. McGill was out of the game. Troy Dye got hurt. Samoa got hurt briefly. I think there were one or two other guys. It's like, it's a bad time to get hurt, like 2-3 days before cut down, because you got to decide if these guys are ready to go for week one, and are you going to give them a roster spot if they're maybe going to be hurt for a while? So we'll see what happens with that. Wangwu fumbled. Wangwu had a pretty ugly fumble at one point. I didn't get to see so much of this game. It's like I can't. What's there to even say? Because half the time on the radio broadcast, I mean, they simulcast it on TV, but then you can at least see it. But the radio broadcast, half the time they're not even really talking about the plays that are going on. But our punter looked good. Big number 66. Joseph hit like a 58-yard field goal. Granted, it's in Denver, in the thin air, but you know, I guess Amir Smith-Marset had one pretty good punt return, so maybe that alone will get him the punt return job. Um, I guess actually Zach Davidson had a couple good catches too. He had that really ugly drop, I think last week. But yeah, I mean it was it was what it was. I mean, in most of these cases, I think the roster spots were already pretty secure. Who knows if a third preseason game, which is basically what the fourth preseason game used to be, you know, if these guys playing against a bunch of scrubs from Denver, like of everybody who played in this game for both teams, like 90% of these guys at least are going to probably be cut, and maybe a lot will end up on practice squads, but most of these guys are gone. And we'll find out. I mean, they have to be cut down by Tuesday, but they'll probably do stuff before then. So that'll probably trickle out over the next couple days. There's going to be some surprises. I don't know who, but there's going to be one or two names that pop up as cuts, and it's going to surprise people. I mean, we've already had a couple. I don't think people were expecting the punter to get cut, starting punter from last year to get cut. But the 0-3 record, I don't give a shit. I really don't. Like every year, the preseason just becomes more and more meaningless. So I don't care that they were 0-3. I don't even care necessarily that they didn't look that good. They looked better. I'll say this: they were a better 0-3 in the preseason this year than they were last year. But the records don't matter. In a lot of cases, I don't even think the performances matter that much, because so many of the guys who are going to be on the 53, that was already determined before they even played a preseason game. That's determined more in practices and scrimmages, those things. It mattered for Mond and Mannion. I think if either one had really been great in this preseason, I don't think Nick Mullins is on this roster. But that didn't happen. So, but 0-3 in the preseason does nothing to dissuade me from thinking that this can be a very good team this year. And I'm very, very excited. 2 weeks from, well, I guess today, because it's after midnight when I'm doing this. 2 weeks till we play the Packers. And yeah, it's the Packers, the big bad Packers, but yeah, I think they can win that game, and that could set them up for a hell of a season. And we'll start learning if KOC can really coach. I think he probably can. There's going to be bumps along the way, but I just think he gets it. Obviously I'll be doing season preview overall thing at some point, but I'm very optimistic for this season, and nothing I've seen in the preseason has knocked me off of that, because most of the guys we've seen in the preseason are not going to play. And I think we've seen enough from certain guys, some of the young guys, to think that they've got something, and I think they have a pretty good draft class, and they'll have some depth this year. They're not going to have great depth at every position. I'm sure they're going to be scanning the waiver wire for a few positions. But they're not going to be a flawless team, but I think they're going to be a very good team, and I think they're going to surprise some people. And again, we'll get into season preview stuff later, but just glad the preseason's over. God, I hate it. I hate it more every single year.